I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Camille Friend, Hair Department Head on Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. First of all, Camille, it's really simple. Congratulations, you just made the shortlist for the Oscars. How exciting is that?
Super, super excited. Like this is my second time on the short list, so it feels good. Actually, no, this is my third time on the short
Yeah, I
list.
was going to say, I
Yeah, it's
haven't.
this my third time. So hopefully,
Well,
third time is the charm.
I
We'll
think third time's
see.
going to be a charm for you. What happened when you found out? Because I mean, everyone's in the whole industry's waiting. Who am I going to make it into the top 10? And you did. So what happened when you found out?
Honestly, I had no idea. Like, I don't know. It just went over my head that day. And then people are texting me, and I'm like, why are all these people texting me? And then my agent texted me. She goes, "You guys made the short list." I was like, "Yeah." And then immediately I called, all my main people on my team, because it's all about the team for me. It's the team that help us, help me to get the job done. So it's about them too, and it's a win for all of us. So then I went ahead and texted and called everybody on the team, and we were like, so
Yes,
yeah,
that is the sign of a good leader when you recognize that you're only as good as the people who work with you.
only as
Um,
good as your team.
hey, it's so true.
Yeah.
I want to talk about oh God, I love this movie so much. So in the sequel, you obviously bring back a lot of the African tribal looks from the first film. Beautiful stuff there, particularly the Javari. But then
Yes.
you get the Talokan characters based, I assume, on Central American and Mayan culture.
Yes.
How much research goes into that, bringing those characters to life because they're so authentic and so unusual and different? I can't imagine where you begin.
Well, I mean, luckily I can say this. I was working on another project in Atlanta, and that's where we filmed Black Panther. So I was already in Atlanta. So that was really great because I could kind of go back and forth and see what the research was. And one thing that we started with is that we had a professor who is a professor of Mesoamerican art. And so he really helped us really dive into it and understand. Like, he really helped me understand, like, a single woman would wear this, or a married woman, her hair would be like this, and culturally, everything that happens in between. So just like the first one, as we took so much time with the tribes and really doing the research, we did exactly the same thing. And like, having our group meetings with Ryan being there, and like, all the departments, and really talking about how we wanted to culturally appropriate this tribe. And the Talakanil has become now a huge hit, and it just makes me feel good that we could do this for like Latin America, and for all the people out there, when they look, they could see their self on camera.
Absolutely. And the whole team could have just taken so many liberties and just given us something really spectacular. And a lot of the audiences would have eaten that up. But no, Ryan and yourself, the team, I just love the level of authenticity that you get in a movie, a Marvel movie. They do it all the time. Why is authenticity so important when you could have taken the easy route and just given us something fun and interesting and that's it?
Well, one thing I love about Marvel is Marvel gives you all the tools to make everything happen. So they don't, like, I did Black Panther 1. They didn't say, "Oh, Camille, we want it to look like this." They were like, "Here is the movie. You create, you design, you dream." And so when
Really?
you give me that, that's when you're going to get the best out of me, when you allow me to have the open plate and the open world. So we did, the same thing with this movie. Is they just gave it to us, and we just started. And it actually started with Ruth Carter, our costume designer, and really going in and looking at everything, and then going into like the projection designer, and taking a look at what is this world going to look like. And when I saw that, my mind was blown. I was like, we got to get to work. So we just started, like, literally, took like 100 wigs. And I was like, okay, I had a lot of people in the trailer. We had about 10 men and ladies in the trailer. And I'm like, okay, we're going to perfect this look. We're going to perfect this look. And we just kept perfecting it. And if it didn't look good, I was like, let's start all over. Just really started hammering down every look, what's going to look good on people. And that's how I always start working it out. And then when we get into fittings are so important for us, like being there for the fittings and fitting everybody and making sure. I always tell everybody, look in the mirror. It doesn't matter if you think the hair piece or the wig looks great. If it doesn't look good on that person, then it's the wrong one. So really analyzing it and hammering down what looks good on each individual person.
It just sounds so exhausting and yet so rewarding. This is your seventh Marvel
It's
movie, I think.
exhausting and rewarding. I'll tell you, like at one point, I think I worked like 27 days straight because we were doing first unit and then we're doing second unit. And second unit was the full water unit. So I wanted to be there to make sure if we are establishing something or if we're changing something, I'm going to be there. And then two, how can you not? Because on a Saturday or Sunday, when you see Ryan Coogler there too, you're like,
Wow.
I got to show up. So it was so beautiful to see so many of the department heads. We worked many days, but it was our passion for how this movie should look and how correct it should be.
So your seventh Marvel movie, I think. Do you pinch
Yes.
yourself a bit? Because you know how many kids there are out there looking at you probably right now thinking, that's what I want to do. I mean, how do you get into something like this where you are really at the forefront of your field?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's a little luck. I think it's a lot of hard work. And I'll just say this, I'm a third generation hairstylist. So I live, breathe, sleep, dream in hair. So it's something that truly works for me. And like, I love what I do. I love being creative. I love the creative process. And I love working with other hair and makeup people. That's, it's the best. And like on this one, I had a really young crew. So I didn't have like a crew that I've really worked with before. I had a lot of younger people. So I love the teaching aspect of it. So it was really great to see them grow as people and as artists. And so that was beautiful to me too.
Did you have to work with all of the actors? Were there any actors that had their own team, or was this pretty much you looked after the entire movie?
Well, basically what we do in the Marvel world in this one, Ryan, I design everything. So like Shuri, Letitia Wright, she had her own hairstylist, but I oversee all of it and that's under my umbrella.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so I want to talk about the glorious dreadlocked gray creation that adorns the majestic and magnificent Angela Bassett.
Yes.
What on earth went into design? It seems like such a simple proposition, and yet I found her hair work in this so striking. How did you feel about how it turned out and how much work went involved to perfect that look?
Well, I have to say, Angela Bassett could probably wear a paper bag on her head and look great. Like she's one of those ladies, she's just so kind, she's so regal. And what she brings to it is like, I mean, I could put anything on her head and she could wear it and look like fabulous. She just has that ability. She's that kind of actress. So it makes it a lot of fun. So like basically the lock wig is actually from the first movie. So that was one of the things I was like, we need to get that out of storage and, and make sure that it's all, we prepped it and got it all cleaned up. And that was definitely what we were going to use on her for the flashbacks. But originally that wig was basically, we took and we make a base and then we insert the locks into it. And the locks were they're all handmade with about 3 or 4 colors they're made with. So it's a very time consuming, but it's truly like a labor of love type of situation. So that was that look.
I can imagine. Given your career today, you look at the credits in your quite long career. I'm curious about whether there are specific or particular factors that you must take into account when you are designing for a primarily Black and now even Latina, but particularly a Black cast. Given you are also a Black woman, what do you know is so important as a priority with a cast like that?
Well, I always look at it this way. You hire people who have the skills. So I hire people who can do everything. So anybody who can do, you should be able to know how to do Black hair. You should know how to do Latin hair. You should have to know how to do Caucasian hair. People who are well-rounded hairstylists are people that I look for, and people who are, who know how to do wigs, who know how to barbers. Like you guys have to know, my barbers know how to put on wigs. My barbers know how to cut wigs. Like my barbers know how to watch set. Like they know how to watch set. They know how to comb hair, because the more that we teach people and we show them like what to do, it gives them so much more ammunition to go. And I always tell them, you want to be an asset to your team. So if you're an asset and the more skills you have, the better you are.
Wow, that's so exciting. Camille, thank you for your time today. I look forward to chatting with you during our group chat later.
Thank you.